Hello everyone, I am here to tell you about Donald Trump's presidency and what is going to go on for the next 4 years according to the presidential chart that was cast on January 20th of 2025 this year at high noon. This is the time that they cast the presidential charts. Okay, so you're at the first question. I know you're probably, what about Vance? Vance was inaugurated a couple of minutes after that. So his chart did not change in the things that I am going to point out to you. Now, the first thing I'm going to tell you is that astrology is based upon karma, okay? So this is very karmic. So when it's interesting because when fate and destiny are in this, a person is wreaking karmic, whether for be good or bad. Now, the first thing I want to say is that remember how much he wanted the presidency, and he was going to steal, cheat, lie. He did steal, cheat, lie for it, right? And he wasn't successful, and all of his MAGA cult, they lied to, and so did the administration that is now in his administration. They lied, and they were willing to follow him and his lies. Okay, well, there's karma happening because the astrology chart that was cast on January 20th this year, high noon 2025, is not something anyone would want. And I'm going to explain this to you. What is happening and what is going to happen for the next 4 years, okay? Now, I am not trying to scare you. I've been an astrologist for 25 years. I understand this and I understand what it means very clearly. I am here to explain this to you because there needs to be a warning to everyone that what is going on with his presidency and Vance's vice presidency is not going to change. And the reason is because on high noon, January 20th, Trump was inaugurated and Vance was signed in just a couple minutes after. And these planets that I point out to you, they're not going to change. The only way this chart changes if there's a new time or somebody goes into office at a new day. And the time changes, and the time changes, the day changes. So that's it. Okay, so I'm going to tell you right now. So what we're looking at here is on January 20th, when a president is inaugurated, the sun is in Aquarius right here. It's always in Aquarius in the 10th house. Now, the 10th house represents your career. It's a very high place. It's the presidency right here. It's sticking straight up, and it's like a place of a person getting to a very high place. Okay, so it's always there on January 20th. But what changes are the planets next to it change, and they're very important as to the telling of what's going to happen to the presidency in the next 4 years. Now, I'll give you an example. When Biden was inaugurated, his planet next to it was Saturn. Now, Saturn represents the old man. He's traditional. He does things in a structured way. So you could expect for his 4 years of his presidency that would be structured and traditional, and there wouldn't be upheaval because Saturn likes structure. Okay, so that was the telling of what was going to go on for that 4 years. Okay, and I will just say, if you're curious about Obama, his planets all the way to here, they were communicative planets. He was known as an excellent communicator, and his communication skills were bar none. They were excellent, and I think that he was actually really a genius communicator, and he was just a very intelligent, high IQ person with good morals and good intentions. Okay, so now we're going to go back to Donald Trump's astrology. The presidency of Donald Trump for 4 years. And the planets I point out to you, because Vance was inaugurated, was signed in a couple minutes after him, these planets are slow moving. They did not change for him either. Okay, So we've got the sun in Aquarius, that's always there on January 20th. But what changed from Saturn that was in Biden's, the structured man, traditional, we could expect structure and not upheaval for those 4 years. We've got Pluto. Pluto is next to the sun, okay? And then you've got the part of fortune. Now, I'm going to focus on these planets right here because these are the ones that we need to pay attention to, okay? So Pluto is telling for the next 4 years, for both Trump and Vance, that they will wreak havoc with their presidency and vice presidency. Chaos will reign. Pluto represents chaos. Chaos will reign to the presidency, the sun. Violence, suffering, cruelty, war, Armageddon, underworld. These are all the things Pluto represents. Corruption, thievery. Okay, so the part of fortune here, which is interesting, is saying that they are going to make money off of all this suffering, all this violence, the war, the Armageddon, the underworld, the chaos that is reigning, the corruption, the violence, and the suffering. So not only are they going to wreak this havoc upon not only the United States, but the entire world, they are going to make money off of all this violence, which is as evil as it gets. Okay, so let me explain to you. Because he's the presidency, and you have Vance as also the vice president, he's also got Pluto. He was inaugurated just a couple minutes after. Pluto is a slow-moving planet. It doesn't change. And so he's on board. And his vice presidency is creating chaos, confusion, corruption, war, the underworld, Armageddon, violence, and suffering. And he's also hoping, and probably is already, making money off of all this in a corrupt manner, as this is what this rules, corruption. Okay, so one more thing is that what I would like to say is that because this is based upon karma, okay, anybody who is in his administration will also be wreaking this karma. Anything that Trump touches or Vance touches, anything that they touch, anything they do or touch will be chaotic, corrupt. It could lead to violence and war and suffering. There will be nothing harmonious in this presidency and vice presidency. Everything that they do will turn to shit. And that's very telling right here. And they're hoping to make money off of all the shit that they put on the United States. And this is representing what they're going to do to the world. As you can see, chaos, they're creating chaos in the entire world. Violence, war, saying that they're going to invade this country, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. Well, they want to do that through war. And they want to make money off of all the suffering and the murder and everything. Pluto is a terrible planet to have right here next to the presidency. He wanted this presidency so bad. Well, it came in and said, go ahead, take it, and you're going to go down as the most disgraceful president and vice president in the United States history and the world. The only way to stop this is they have to be removed very fast, very quickly, and a new date and time is stamped on this chart to get rid of this right here, this sun next to Pluto, because this is a very bad planet. And it's, like I said, he's only been in the White House for a month, and chaos is reigning. And this is what it says will happen for the next 4 years with both of them. And the new administration, everything that they touch, everything that they do, they will be affected by this, because this is their leader, and this is who they're working under. Everything they touch, from Pam Bondi, Tom Homan, Pete Hegseth, Robert Kennedy, all of the ones that are on the press secretary, right there. Chaos, violence, suffering, corruption. Oh, they're holding their own right now, but trust me, they're biting their nails, because they should look at the signs that they're going to go down with him. They're going to be disgraced. And all for this guy? I don't think so. All for this guy? Well, if you haven't seen his evil yet, people will start turning on him. As you can see, they already are, because people that are smart can see the signs. I mean, how can you not see the chaos already? That it hasn't stopped. It's only going to get worse. It'll get worse with each passing day. Everything they touch will turn to shit. And it's creating violence and chaos and suffering and war, not just on the United States and the American citizens, but on the world. Right here. On the world. War, Armageddon, the underworld. I cannot emphasize enough how terrible this is. This is the worst of the worst. And the people of the United States need to get up, go into the streets, protest, remove from office. Remove until the democratic society comes back and Democrats are able to put the pieces back together and save our democracy for all. For all. For all in this world, including the environment and nature, the wildlife, the animals, the people, the children, and the immigrants deserve to be treated. We are all immigrants. We're all immigrants. And English as a first language is insulting to the Native Americans because English was not originally spoken here. It's completely racist and it's completely wrong. It's just disregarding. And that is it right there, Pluto. And down here on the third house, I don't know if you can see this or not, but down here in the third house, you've got Mars, and that shows that they will both be reckless in their communication and impulsive, reckless, and that's going to also get them in trouble. It's going to get the United States in trouble. And also, the third house represents our neighbors, the ones that are close to the United States. Impulsiveness, wreaking havoc upon our neighbors. Who is close to us. Right here, the Pluto next to the Sun is going to wreak havoc not only in the United States, but in the entire world. The only way that you can get rid of this is if you change the chart. The time, the date of a person going into the White House must be changed, because this is not going to get any better. This is going to get worse. Pluto in the Sun, this represents the presidency. This represents the vice presidency for the next 4 years. Not only is it going to be suffering and violent and corruption and chaos will reign and get worse every day, but you're going to see them make money off of all of it. And you don't think that all those federal jobs that they're firing, they're making money off of those people who won't be able to pay groceries, their rent, or nothing. And it'll be just a short period of time that the MAGA will turn against and see that they've been taken a fool, because all that they care about, though, oh yeah, it's money right here, money, but they want to get it the evil way, the most evil way imaginable, the most evil way imaginable. Okay, so I wanted to let you know that this is very important, that people listen to this. This is not going to get better. Once again, Pluto next to the Sun represents chaos, violence, suffering. It represents corruption, thievery. It represents the Armageddon war, the underworld. It represents, all this horrible evil. And the part of fortune says they're going to make money. Now, I remember him saying Andrew Jackson was his favorite president. Andrew Jackson had Pluto next to Sun, but he did not have the part of fortune. So what I'm saying is that the Pluto, you could see the trail of tears with what he did and what Donald Trump is doing with the immigrants. But what he plans on doing is making money off of all the suffering and all the violence that he's putting on not just the United States, but the world. And this will get worse and worse and worse. Anything that he suddenly makes a speech about, or some sort of an executive order, or anything is meant to make money off of the suffering of others and the violence and the war and the corruption and the evil. Okay, and this is Vance too, because he was signed in just a couple minutes before this. Pluto did not change, nor did not change on this. So these two are as evil as it gets. So I would like to sign out and leave you with a note. The only way this changes is if somebody takes in the presidency and the vice presidency, both of them are removed from office, and the time will change, the date will change, the planets will change. The Pluto next to the sun is going to create the most evil in this country and the world, and they're going to make money off of all of it. That's probably where the whole Putin comes in. They see what he's doing, that he's making money off of all the violence he does, and they say, well, we want to make money too. And they try to say, America, America. They don't care about America. They care about themselves. But truly, they're very evil. They're very evil. People want to think, what is their agenda in all this? They are very evil, very evil. And I would like to say one thing that is really sad is that his administration is going to be affected by all this. Everything they do is going to be chaotic and turn to shit. And this is called the selling of the soul, because anybody who's connected to him, they will sell their soul with this. And I feel sorry for Rubio, because he has a nice face. He looks like he has a soul in there. This administration should think about the selling of their soul, because if they haven't done it yet, they're going to do it. Because how can anybody not recognize that this presidency will create chaos, confusion, violence, suffering, war? And you have to think about everyone, not just yourself. And every day this is going to happen to the United States. It's going to happen more and more and more, and be more violent and be more suffering. The only way this changes is if you get 2 new people in here and change the date and the time. And with Mars and the 3rd house with our neighbors, impulsive communication and impulsive actions. So I'm asking you, get to the streets, protest, remove them from office, and everybody needs to stand up. Don't sell your soul right now, because this is karma right here. This is karma. This is karma. Anyone affected with these 2 people, their new administration, will be disgraced. Their lives will be disgraced. They will permanently be disgraced for their entire life as to what they are doing and what they are about to do. And my recommendation to you is get away from the evil, and do not sell your soul. Somebody here needs to remove these 2 from office, change the chart, the time, change the chart, the date. So we have something new here, because this is karma. He wanted the presidency, and now he's got it. He's going to go down as the most disgraceful president in all of the United States history. Okay, thank you for listening. Get to the streets and scream loud and scream hard and remove them from office. Thank you.